Do you find yourself wondering how to learn Japanese after watching countless amounts of anime? If so, stay here. I got the answer for you. So you think you've listened to enough Japanese and you know what nani, baka, or maybe even oni-chan, you know what that means. So you take it upon yourself to start learning Japanese through anime until you decide one day to turn off the closed captions button, and you're meted with slight disappointment, maybe even major disappointment. I'm here to reassure you that you can still learn Japanese with anime. Relax, relax. But there are a couple things you need to do first. So I have 3 things for you that I want to share. This is probably self-explanatory, but I feel the need to tell you because this is pretty important as for your foundation in learning a language. Okay, so first things first, you're gonna need to learn how to read and hear katakana and hiragana. It's probably self-explanatory because it's just like if someone's learning English, you have to learn the ABCs. Well, the same thing applies for Japanese. You have to learn hiragana and katakana. I'm not saying you have to be a god, but if you want a little bit of an easier route, I say just become a god at it. If you're stacking your Japanese and like, okay, you know how to say nani, but you don't know how to read nani, do you really know how to hear nani? Because there are going to be different like accents and different like pronunciations depending on like the region of Japan, and we can get into that later. But the point is, if you don't know how to hear hiragana and katakana, you're not going to know how to differentiate. You're not going to know that this means this word. So for example, if I say ima nani shiteru no, when you hear it, you might know one word. You might hear ima, and when you hear it, you're not gonna hear the word ima. In your head, you hear ima. It's okay, it's good to know that, but then you have to learn the vocabulary of that sound. So ima, you hear ima, okay, you know that that means now. So I feel like a great foundation to start will be just to learn hiragana and katakana so that you know exactly what you need to be hearing. So that being said, you need to differentiate between the sound and the word so that you know where to go from there. And that brings me to my next point. Learning hiragana and katakana and knowing vocabulary kind of go hand in hand in the sense that if you know ima, the word ima, and you know it sounds like ima, when you hear it, you're gonna know, oh, that's ima, and you know, oh, that's now in English. Cool, right? So knowing the vocabulary and knowing what that sound is, you're gonna be set up for success. So once you start to recognize sounds in words, you can kind of differentiate in sentences where a word will end and where a word will start. It really depends on if you know the vocabulary though, because if you don't know the vocabulary, you don't know that this could be a word and this could be like a part of a sentence, or that it's a particle. And which leads me to my next point, grammar. And I know a lot of people don't like grammar, so don't get scared. But it's important because if you want to learn how to speak or you want to know Japanese through anime, you're gonna have to know the grammar. So let me just give you guys a little heads up or a little bit of help. When it comes to learning grammar, I do have this cool resource for you. I'm just gonna like put a little thing right here. A little cool resource for you. That's what I used when I first started because I didn't want to like buy anything. So this is very free, 100% free. Go to YouTube and find it. You'll be right there. She put me in the right position to be where I am today in my Japanese studies. But anywho, so it is imperative to know grammar, at least the simple grammar structures, before you start to try to understand what's being said in the anime. So let's pull up our example again. Ima nani shiteru no. So okay, let's say you know ima, you know that means now, but let's say you don't know grammar and you're like trying to grab each word out of the sentence without the grammar knowledge. So you're like ima, that's now. Nani, that's what, okay. Shiteru, and you look it up and you might find the answer. Okay, cool, that means like to do, doing. But that's grammar in itself right there. And then just knowing that, it gets a little bit tricky because you're like, okay, you could just kind of guess on a simple sentence. You will know that that sentence means, what are you doing now? Even though you grabbed each vocabulary and it says, what doing now? Or sorry, what now doing? You know, you can kind of figure it out. But when it comes to like a very complex sentence for a beginner, it's like, let's just come up with an example here. So let's just come up with an answer for ima nani shiteru no. Let's think. 特にないけど朝ごはん食べたばかり something like that. All that you probably won't understand right off the bat, even if you break it down in chunks like that, because things are gonna get really muddy when it comes to longer sentences. So I would just say start with basic grammar structure and realize once you learn more grammar, you'll start to really piece the sentence and you can kind of differentiate and compartmentalize what is a word, what is a verb, what is a noun, what is a verb, what is an adjective, what is all that, because that'll help you understand the meaning of the sentence better that way. The answer to everything, no, you can't really learn Japanese with just anime. I mean, that's kind of like hard and absurd. If you can do it, kudos to you. I mean, from the very beginning, can you do it? You know, you can definitely use it along the road of your journey. But I'm not going to discourage anybody if they want to give that a try. I'm just letting you know that it might be difficult, and what's difficult is not impossible. So if you made it this far, I just want to thank you guys for staying this long and listening to me talk about this. This is like my first real video about this, so I just wanted to say hello. Anyway, if you'd like to see more content like this, please subscribe, give me a thumbs up, leave a comment, let me know what you think. If you disagree with me, tell me why you disagree with me. Maybe we can have a discussion about that, and don't mind my hand. I hope you guys have a good day. Thanks for watching. Good luck in your Japanese studies. じゃあね。